It's foundation inspection. Grade is a little low here. You want the grade really to come up between 6 and 4 inches to the top of the foundation. You can see here there's been a bit of erosion and there's a bit of the below grade foundation exposed. Moving to the rear elevation, leaking faucet here. We're at the rear elevation at the right. There's a corner pop here, very common on the corners. It's purely cosmetic, nothing to worry about. So on the right elevation, we've got a lot of erosion here. It's likely not caused by the diverter. There's a diverter above us, stops water coming onto the air conditioning units. And this is quite serious erosion. It's got to be filled, backfilled. You can see down here we've got the sprinkler head, which used to be about 1 inch below ground. It's now 3-4 inches above ground. So we've lost quite a lot of the soil. That needs to be rebuilt to ensure the foundation is protected. So that's the right elevation, serious piece of erosion. Yeah, more erosion here. One of the causes of erosion is the lack of gutters. It's very common in Texas not to put gutters on houses. It's not a good practice. You really do need gutters. It stops all this erosion. So you'll see in the report a recommendation to add gutters. We're now moving to the front elevation. We're at the front right elevation, and we have so we have a post tension cable end exposed. That needs to be covered. We're now at the front elevation. Grade is okay. Pooling in areas like this. It looks nice, I know, but you've got to watch out. You see behind this brickwork is a piece of steel, and that's going to stop the water draining easily. As a result, you can get different hydrostatic pressures around the house in different places, and that can cause the foundation itself to move. At the back here, the grading's too high. It's actually coming up and touching the brick. That needs to be cut back. We're now at the left front elevation. Again, the grading has dropped a lot, considerably, and then down here we've got serious erosion. What's causing that erosion here is runoff from the roof above, and there's no gutters, we've discussed already. And right above us here we've got a valley, and that valley is going to direct water directly down here. As you can see, it actually has caused a lot of erosion. This is the attic inspection. Looking for general safety features in the attic, well, and also correct installation. Up here we've got two vents opposite each other. The problem with that is they're going to short circuit, and what will happen is air will come in this vent here and simply go out that vent there. They should be offset. It's easy to do. This vent here could be moved here, so it's not directly opposite, and fill in that hole. That will greatly improve ventilation. And we've got another problem here. This vent could actually be moved down here, but we're going to get short circuiting, so there'll be a note in the report about short circuiting. We have a really horrible situation here. You see this gas pipe? It's passing this metal strip. Well, that gas pipe could move and come into contact, and that strip can cut that pipe, believe it or not. Then you'd have a gas leak in the attic. We've got good insulation, about between 12 and 15 inches. It's been trodden down in a number of places, but this insulation still works quite well even when it's compressed. This is an air conditioning duct. It's a return air, and you can see it's held in place by metal stripping. That's wrong. It should be a nylon webbing, and it's repeated all the way through the attic. Now over time this metal stripping is going to cut into and damage the pleniums and the ducting, so I highly recommend that this is actually changed out, because it will cut it in time. It's not designed to support the pipes. They should be supported by nylon webbing, not steel webbing. This is the gas pipe leading into the heater, and it should actually have a sediment trap, and it doesn't. This is the attic hatch. You can see here we're missing weather stripping. There should be weather stripping around it. That's to prevent hot air entering the house and cold conditioned air entering the attic. This is the exterior wall and window inspection. We're looking at the walls to see if there are any cracks, which indicates foundation movement, and the windows, looking for weather sealing and general condition of the glazing. This window here has a steel lintel, and as such should have weep bolt over it. It doesn't. There'll be a note about that in the report. Now this window here, very poor corking. You see it's cracked and weathered. It's probable that all the corking is in the same condition. Yeah, I recommend that the corking around the whole of the house is replaced. I've been around most of the windows already before I started videoing, and you've got areas like this where it's going to leak water and also air. Now the problem with warm air is it's heavily laden with moisture, and as it hits the interior wall surfaces, which are air conditioned, it causes condensation, and that condensation can lead to mold. Above us here we have a valley, and we have a roof coming down, and you can see the wall is discoloured. That discoloration is caused by successive rainstorms allowing water to be flowing across it. You really must put a gutter down here. You don't want water coming against this wall. If we get heavy rainstorms, the whole interior surface of this wall is going to be damp, and again you can get mould. Well, you've got mould on the back here. This is mould, this black, okay? So, you know, it's growing there, and over time it can grow inside the house if you're not careful. Now here we're at the rear elevation. You could see the siding has moved. It's come away partly from the brickwork, and as such we have broken, damaged caulking all the way up. It's going to allow water in there. Now, not far in there, about 4 or 5 inches, there's a gap, and it's insulation. It's behind that siding, and water will get in there. Lots of water, so that needs to be done ASAP. Okay, we're now at the front right elevation, and up here, in this area here, there's a possibility of water leaks. You can see that the roof comes to an end. We've got a bit of kick-out flashing that's turned around the wall. Now as the water runs down there, it can come over the top and it will enter in those gaps that are shown there. They need to be caulked just to ensure water doesn't get in there. Front elevation. Now there's a settlement cracking on the stonework, and also you can see here the roof line. There's no gutter there, and you can see how you've got a dark line. This is where water has been successfully running down those cracks, and it's caused the water running down the wall has caused this discoloration. So that again is a good reason for fitting gutters. Went out the left elevation. So on the day of the inspection, pretty well all of the walls are good. They're free of cracks. Windows are not so good, and caulking is pretty poor. Here we've got a expansion gap, and either it's never been caulked or somebody pulled the caulking out of it. As a consequence, water's going to get in behind the wall there. In addition to that, this window has never been caulked. It's actually open to the elements all the way around, and that means over the years water and damp air have been getting in behind this wall and may have caused a problem there. You know, from what I've seen with all the water on the things, I'm going to recommend you consider having a mould test before you move in. I know they're expensive, but you know, mould can be pretty damaging to your health, and simple things like poor caulking, lack of caulking here, and water running over walls for many years can actually cause a situation where mould spores are growing. We're now inspecting the interior walls and the floors. What we're looking for are indications of movement through cracks in either the floors, ceilings or walls. And at the same time we're going to be checking out, make sure we haven't got any broken windows. We've already inspected the outside of the property and there's no signs of cracks in the walls. So it's a pretty stable building. But we're just now going to have a look around the interior. You see areas like that there. That is caused through common settlement. You see a little crease in the sheetrock, a bit more there. That happens all the time. It's because we've got a a support pillar here. It's 30 odd foot and it does move and it leads to that. We have a laminate floor and as a consequence we won't see if there's any damage beneath it. What we see is the floor buckling. We're pretty clean as far as cracks are concerned, but it's been recently decorated and that would cover up any sort of signs of cracks and movements. We're in the master. So the ground floor, so far, looks pretty clean. We're going to go and look around with the utility room and the garage area. This is the utility room. Pretty clean here. No damage to the floor. There's no damage to the floor in the garage. The flatwork outside is pretty good. There's no heaving or sinking, which is a good sign. Okay, no, it's all looking okay around here. Let's go and look upstairs. And while we're doing so, we're going to check the stairs themselves, make sure the railings are nice and firm. They are. And that they're at the correct height. They're upstairs by the skylight. The roof is too steep, so I couldn't climb on it. I had to use my Skycam, which is basically a camera that's elevated, with a video I can see from the ground to inspect the roof. But I couldn't make a close examination of the flashing of the skylight because it's too steep. But we're in the game room. No signs of cracks. The floor is pointless looking at it. It's covered in carpet. We can never see anything that's beneath it. In the front, we're in the front right elevation of the building. And we have a closet in here. All looking good. Small bathroom, looks fine. And we're in the front bedroom. Looks pretty good in here. Fire alarms in place in halls and bedrooms. Okay, so pretty good. Not bad. Doors looks quite good around it. There's no cracks at the moment. Going forward, if you live in a property like this, one of the first ways you'll find out if there's problems in terms of the property moving with the foundation are cracks in both walls and sheetrock inside and doors that stick. We haven't checked the doors yet, but we'll be doing that later. This is yard door. You can see here we have water penetration at the yard door. You can see that. It's the early stages of wood rot. You can see it's even extended into the door here. We've got a little bit of damage to the door by water. It's the same on this side of the door too. Now, where is that coming from? We need to investigate. Well, we can find out immediately. The reason it's actually damaged is because we've got damaged caulking all the way around the door. In addition to that, this wood actually touches the stone. You should never have wood in contact with stone, ground, dirt, nothing. It should be an air gap. And somebody, well-meaning but wrong, has caulked it, and that's what's caused the problem. It's the same here. Here the wood is rotting. That needs to be replaced, cut out, and a new piece spliced in, and that will fix the problem. But for the moment, there's a water leak at the rear yard door. We're now going to look at the front door, see if we have the same issue. We do, not quite as bad, but you can see water has penetrated. It's started to affect the door. And it's the same issue. So here where the door posts should actually be relieved, they're not. They're actually touching the ground. And along here you can see the caulking at the threshold is now damaged, and that's going to cause water to get under there, damage the wood and damage the door. We're at the garage door. We should have a weather seal on it. We do. It's got to be a 1 hour door. It is, and should be self-closing. It is. It's all the criteria, so that's good. Now we're going to have a look at the garage door. Close it. We have trips here, and they should turn the door into reverse. They do. Look at the tracks. It opens and closes okay. No apparent damage on the day of the inspection to the garage doors and rails. All looks good. This is the gas fire. It's balanced flow. Unit under here. There's lots of cobwebs in here, and those cobwebs are actually looking like a brown recluse, so I'm not going to be putting my hands in there to try and start it. Just as an aside, before you move into a vacant property, I would highly recommend you have it treated for spiders and bugs. You really don't want to be sharing your home with a brown recluse. This is a pool inspection. Firstly, we're going to look at structurally. Around here is called coping, right at the edge here, and you'll see between that and the flatwork there's grout, and the grout in places is starting to split. It needs regrouting. You don't want water to get down there because it washes away the support for the pool structure itself. The coping's in good condition. There's no signs of cracks or breaks in it. As I say, the only thing at the moment is the presence of these cracks in the caulking. And then around the pool itself we've got pretty good condition. No breaks in the tiles as we can see at the present time. In a minute we'll get the underwater camera out and we'll have a look at the drains. But also good here. This is a skimmer. We have one skimmer, and this is the pool equipment. It's just been sprayed by the okay, so this is in fact our freeze control. Now turn the pump on, and we're just going to check for leaks. cartridge filter. We have a pressure gauge on the top, looks in reasonably new condition. And it has pressure. Yep. And the pressure's increasing, so not unreasonable. Well, let's go and look at the skimmer. Skimmer's running well, basket is clean, that's all working. Now we're going to go and get the underwater camera and go diving, see what we can see on the bottom. This is appliance jack, water heater, sorry, water. Yeah. Let's start again, shall we? This is a dishwasher, and it's been run, camera's steaming up. See that the soap dish were opened up. There's no apparent rust on the top tray and none on the bottom tray, but there's a little bit of a rusty mark on that on the side there. It's looks like it was installed when the property was built, so it's getting on a bit, but it ran perfectly. This is the sink. We have a food disposal. Let's get some water going through that. While it's going down, we'll have a look inside. We'll probably make it a lot easier if we use a torch or flashlight. And watch these videos, you'll get all these Brit phrases like torch. Okay, we have a P-trap down there, and that's good. Well, it's at the back, it's open. Very common for that to be open, just sloppy workmanship. Here, got the food disposal. It's looking in quite good condition. I can't see any rust or damage around it. It's connected into the dishwasher, but it doesn't have an anti-siphon device, and so that needs to be addressed.